Target Center in downtown Minneapolis, where tonight the Timberwolves get one final dress rehearsal before the wins and losses start to count. They'll entertain the Charlotte Hornets in their preseason finale, and this will mark. One thing he has been known for, much to the dismay of Hornets fans, is being injured. Only played 7 games last season.
That's right.
Bellinelli, Marco Bellinelli, yet another new place for him. You and I were talking about it before he made threes. They shattered the franchise record by 282. Zach LaVine able to get the baseline jumper to roll in.
Oh, Zach, he's got so much confidence right now. So yeah, this is a tough matchup for Rubio. I mean, Kemba Walker is listed at 6'1". He looks a little smaller than that, but
not what you want in the final preseason game. Towns comes up with it, takes it the distance off the glass. Wanted the foul call as well.
That's you know, when you're 20 years old like Karl Anthony Towns, one thing to worry about, and that's basketball. That's a nice feeling. Wow, beautiful.
The feathery touch for Karl Anthony Towns and one. The work with Patrick, and he just said it's amazing. You know, chance to be able to work out with a Hall of Famer.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! Karl Anthony Towns.
The fact that he's a threat from out there pulls you close, and then the options start to come whether you want to get to the basket or play make for somebody else. Nice cut.
And Rush gets paid off as Gorgie sees him cutting.
Sweat getting numbers like that. It's not just the offense, it's on the defensive end as well. Look at that jump shot. Step back. Once again, for such a big player, that's not an easy play to execute. Of course, finish it by sticking the jumper.
And the official NBA fantasy rankings that came out on NBA.com about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Guys who are going to be getting paid in a big way in 2-3 years, so that's a good thing.
Right, and rightfully so. Bielitsa, a nice strong take. A pretty good heaping of muscle. He was in the gym a ton, was here the entire offseason working out, and he certainly looks much less.
Guys, and they figure everybody just lives in the weight room, but you'd be surprised how many of these guys are actually losing weight. The game is so fast and quick now that if you're 5-10 pounds heavy.
Cole Aldrich. And Harrison's slow to get up. The Wolves have a 4-on-5. Shabazz in traffic off the glass and in. Shabazz Muhammad,
which, as we all know, has been a real weakness the last number of years.
Brandon Rush started that by getting a hand on the basketball, and he looks to finish it out of the corner. Yes, sir. Full timeout, so we are back quickly. Still 40-29. High off the glass and in for Jeremy Lamb.
Once they started winning titles back in 2011, they have a unique closeness.
Chris Dunn got close to Kemba Walker, takes it away, and there it is, Chris Dunn. There we go. Dunn gets the lay-in, and now he gets the jumper. Needs some more of those to go down. It's been a very...
It's going to be the same thing for a guy like Chris Dunn, so show a little bit of patience. I think that's going to eventually be a pretty good weapon. Nice tip there
by Chris Dunn.
By Dunn, exactly. Just hanging around the basket. Weapon. Don't pass up shots.
See Karl Anthony Towns back in the game. Gorgie Jang, Kemba Walker. He had Towns on him on the switch.
To prevent teams from taking threes, and then they're one of the bottom teams in making threes and percentage, so that's going to have to change. It's got to become a bigger weapon, and he's exactly right.
Shabazz counters the Bellinelli three with a triple of his own. A little bit of an issue for him here in this preseason, 2.5 turnovers per game.
Well, that's what happens. You're not confident. You feel like you got to live up to something as Jeremy Lamb gets to the basket, hits Rubio's ever done. So we'll see how this plays out.
Speaking of Rubio, right on cue, Ricky comes up with the steal. He'll take it all the way against Kemba Walker and get the kiss off the glass.
Maybe that's his in as far as getting more playing time.
Yeah, Tyus right now, there's no question his offense is ahead of his defense.
Oh, yeah.
LaVine, speaking of offense, long 2 for Zach. Bielitsa, Aldrich, what a nice set of ball movement by the Timberwolves. LaVine ends up with the cut to the glass and in. Shot clock getting low. Rubio takes it to the glass. Second make of the game for Ricky.
Those games come like you can't believe, and he needs to be a big part of what they're going to do.
Gorgie Jang got a piece of that shot. Rubio finds Levine ahead of the pack, and Zach Levine. Rubio comes up with the rebound. Ricky finds Gorgie Jang ahead. And Gorgie able to get the dunk. Ricky pumping his fist. He's up to 5 dimes.
But he's just taken off his career last year at that 2-guard spot, and I think they need to keep him there.
Well, and we saw earlier in the game, although it was brief, as Sessions gets the bucket. We talked about he can see certain circumstances where maybe Andrew Wiggins would be playing the 4 in a small ball lineup. Brandon Rush out of the corner. And the Wolves are having a 4-4.
I think in what we're talking about here, Dave, I think the potential versatility of this lineup. I don't know if the Timberwolves have ever had a team.
No.
Oh, did you really?
He says you are invited to come work out anytime.
I'm not messing with that guy.
He was not happy about the unknown comic comment. Closed it all the way back to within 6 late in the game. So we'll see if the Wolves can maintain this sizable cushion down the stretch tonight. Say, well, it's only preseason, you had a big lead. That's not the point. The bottom line is you've got to keep your foot on that accelerator. Rubio gets left alone, and Toby tries to come over to rotate too late. Ricky makes him pay. Everybody in and around Minneapolis misses him terribly. It just is also really unfortunate he's not able to see the fruits of his labor.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, well put, Dave. You talk about a guy, you know, a franchise that for years and or bad luck in the lottery, stuff like that, and
a dunk champ.
Oh,
and Zach Levine, 2-time dunk champ.
I mean, just the fact that he was able to pull the trigger on a complicated deal, young big guys should utilize more and learn more.
Shabazz out of the corner for 3. Shabazz Muhammad
Up from behind and got a piece of the basketball, knocked it loose.
Chris Dunn, kind of a sloppy entry pass, got it right back, feeds Shabazz for the dunk. He's got 13 points. Looking to add to the total, and Chris Dunn will set him up perfectly. The season before last can do a lot of things with the basketball. Unfortunately, turned it over there as he tried to hand it off to Shabazz Muhammad. Wolves working it around the outside. Shot clock is down to 2. Bielitsa creates a shot for himself and gets it to drop.
See, it's plays like that we just...
Aldridge with the rebound. Wolves have dominated the glass tonight. And Shabazz Muhammad in transition.
Season.
Adrian Payne's contract is guaranteed for this year.
Yeah.
Toby, no, and the put back up and in by Wood as he tries to see whether or not he can come back from the injury that has bothered him in his foot and his ankle, and tried to play last year, just really could never get things right.
The NBA, but of course, you know, Garnett's hurt, retires, Pekovic hurt, same thing. So it's
well, bottom line is it's all added up to the Timberwolves having asked me to announce those sports.
Absolutely.
I became a fan in a big hurry.
That sounds good to me. But I guess my point is,
closing in on 30 seconds to go. Chris Dunn comes up with the basketball, gives it up for Tyus, and Jordan Hill able to finish. And the Timberwolves will close out the preseason with a 5-2 record. And this one, a barn burner, not in the least. Blowout city, baby. Minnesota 109-74 over the Charlotte Hornets.